what is it called? How do you say it? Is it Naroh? Narrow. The narrow. So like your girlfriend is wide, not narrow? Okay. Hey guys, Brannon with NOLATAC from the St. Bernard Indoor Shooting Center, here for TFBTV, talking about the Naroh Arms. This is going to be another single stack, small, pocket 9. You're going to have 7 plus 1 in the gun, so a total of 8. This is a prototype version of it. So there's going to be some things I'll point out and how they've been addressed for the actual production release, but this particular sample is a prototype as well as the magazines. So, first, what did I like? Well, it seems to be very well made. One of the things that I look at on a polymer frame gun that's going to give me kind of an indication to the level of attention to detail and or the amount of money or commitment, if you will, that went into the molding is the checkering or the stippling or whatever grip zone-y type surface they've put on the grip. I like a more aggressive stippling. This does have more of a gritty, think skate tape type feel to it, skateboard tape. It does have a accessory rail, so if you're running a light or a bayonet or whatever you need to run on your, single stack subcompact pocket gun. Also, the sights are interchangeable with already current aftermarket sights. I believe it's going to be Glock 43. It is hammer fired. It's an internal hammer in here. Other than that, it's pretty good to go. So, to the point of that, the lower and its molding attention to detail is very nice. It's a nice, clean, simple, narrow gun. Just all told, big picture, very nice form factor. The magazines that we currently have do not drop free. These are prototype mags. It was specifically explained in the email, hey man, we fixed that. So the mags that ship will in fact drop free. There will be a flush base plate mag as well as a extendo pinky grip mag. Both, to my knowledge, are going to hold 7 rounds. One's just going to give you that little bit extra real estate, which, depending on who you've taken training from, you may or may not understand the importance of the pinky in grip. Head nod, Pat Mac. What I don't like these kinds of guns. This is a James gun, okay? What I don't like about these kind of guns is very specific, and that's the trigger. This is going to be a gun that has what I call a long double action trigger pull. Think of like a Ruger LCP, or even a long double action only revolver like a hammerless J-frame, right? Once you pull the trigger, the gun cycles. You have to come all the way off the trigger to reset, or you risk it not going off. So if I come up halfway, I'm going to sharp stroke it. Interesting tidbit, again, keeping in mind, this is a prototype sample. When I first got the gun, I cleared it, and what I was getting was when I'd pull the trigger, right about here, I would get a hard, loud, tactile reset, almost exactly like a Glock, a good clunk, and then I'd go to pull, and the trigger was dead, and I had to come off. It was a loud, audible reset. Now, I could still feel it a little bit right there, and I get a dead trigger. You got to come all the way off. Also, so you see I just chambered it. There's some times where I'll go to get in it, and of course now it's not going to do it, but right there. So I got a dead trigger. The trigger was fully forward. I went into it, but I got a dead trigger when I did it. I'm chalking it up again to this being a prototype. That said, as long double action triggers go, it is a nice long double action trigger. So if that's your kink and you like these long double action trigger pulls on hammer fired semi-autos, this is a good one. We shot it. It was actually pleasant to shoot, trigger aside. I mean, the trigger was nice for what it is. I shot it, James shot it, a couple of guys from the shop shot it. Everybody seemed to like it.
It does shoot a little bit low, but I mean, once you cover the shit out of the target, it actually shoots fine for double action trigger.
What I did notice was while it is the same general form factor as, say, a Glock 43, Another issue with a lot of these smaller guns is they feel like they want to climb out because they don't have a lot of grip. This one didn't. It handled the recoil in a manner that it just didn't feel subjectively. It felt easier to control. Okay. Now, if that was coupled with a striker fired action like this gun in striker fire, okay. So we definitely want to send a shout out and thanks to our friends at Ventura. As always, they supplied us with the ammunition. Actually, I've got a little bit of this has built up, so I'm about to be taking some classes, so I think I'm going to try to shoot some straight up Ventura through the class, just because I've never shot it in large quantities like that in a class. But we shot it with Ventura. I shot it with some other stuff I had laying around, some Blazer, some Atlanta Arms, and I think some CCI plus P, I think 124 plus P. So we shot it. It shot reliably with everything in it, but again, big thanks to Ventura for hooking us up. Again, the gun is very well made. It's very nice. It is very narrow. I don't know if that's a play on the word, but it's nice. You may see some aesthetic differences in the lines changing. Like I said, the magazines, I'm told, are going to drop free. I do like the kind of little accent on the trigger. If you do like that long double action trigger pull, it is a nice one. Okay, it's very smooth. Sights are aftermarket, rechangeable, accessory rail. Other than that, it's a 7+1 single stack, double action only kind of pocket 9. Very reminiscent in size and form factor of a Glock 43 or Ruger LCP, those type of guns. So that's going to be the Naroh 9 from Naroh Arms. Y'all be vigilant. Y'all be prepared. Y'all stay safe.